Ben Franklin was right when he said, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. Author Elizabeth Andrew observed, volunteers do not necessarily have the time, they just have the heart. In 2007, at the end of my first PAM convention, I was filled with gratitude, seeing all that this organization and its education had done and would do for me and my business. I asked around about who I could send a thank you note to for organizing exactly the kind of professional development event I needed. But as I would come to learn, there is no one person. So I looked for ways to volunteer to help some of those other busy people with lots of heart, and in the process made some wonderful friends, grew my business, and supported the best professional photography organization around. In the 17 years I have been serving on the board, I have been inspired by, learned from, and been truly grateful for the many volunteers. Some volunteer in small ways as they are able, others in very large ways. Some are quiet and behind the scenes, like a photojournalist behind the camera. Others are gregarious, front and center. All show tremendous heart and love for this craft, this organization, and the business of photography. I love that this applies to so many of you here today, as well as these amazing photographers and photography supporters standing up here who have previously received the PPA National Award. I am still shocked to be standing with them. The one thing all share in common is their generous contributions to the photographic community. Worth noting, the PPA National Award is not something anyone seeks out, nor can it be achieved by tallying up the right number of hours, merits, or classes. You earn it over the long run by volunteering and giving back to the photographic community. Each year, the recipient is the most surprised person in the room when they realize they've been chosen. That should tell you something. As a PPA community network, we are given the opportunity to present this award to a worthy recipient once a year. It is so exclusive that we do not necessarily present it every year. With that in mind, having received this award last year, I am truly honored to introduce this year's recipient of the PPA National Award. In fact, when this person's name was brought forth, I thought for sure they had already received it. And when you see who it is, I bet you will too. Undoubtedly, this year's recipient of the PPA National Award has tremendous heart, and with a busy family and business, probably not nearly as much time as they would like. This year's recipient has volunteered with PAM for years. They have often made contributions behind the scenes, though sometimes they've been asked to take on a more visible role and have done so with grace and commitment. This year's recipient has served PAM in many roles. From their earliest days as a member, this person valued improving their work through the image competition process and wowed judges, often taking home more than one award. As a frequent entrant in photographic competition, they naturally volunteered for various aspects of that process, and sometimes volunteered even before Nancy Green suggested it. This person has shared their craft and expertise formally through teaching others on more than one occasion, and has led multiple education programs for PAM and Photopaloozas. Over the years, this person has served PAM in some of the more thankless roles as Executive Council Secretary and on the PAM Nominating Committee. They are a PPA-approved juror and has served on the PPA Council. This person served as Image Competition Co-Chair and was instrumental in helping PAM convert from print competition to image competition and help pave the way for digital entries and digital judging. Every photographer has their own methodology and style. Ed Petty jokes that this photographer would never have a tripod unless they needed it to hold themselves up. Of course, that has not prevented them from earning PPA Master of Photography, Photographic Craftsman, Certified Professional Photographer, and the PAM Photographic Excellence degree and Service Achievement degree. This person has also served as the VP of Technology and Webmaster. This person is calm under pressure and never seems to get flustered no matter what the situation, whether it's fussy newborns in the middle of a class or challenging students. I suspect the parenting hockey players built fortitude, and most recently, this person has volunteered for one of the most challenging and demanding roles as president of PAM. So at this point, I would like to announce their name. but I don't want them to come out quite yet because I do have a few more things to say about them. This year's recipient of the PPA National Award is Paula Swift. Okay. I still have a few more pages. So, before she comes up, a few more things to share. Larry Lorsey said it best yesterday. Taylor Swift is the musical equivalent of Paula Swift. Maybe awesomeness just goes with the name. And like the other Swift, Paula has been an artistic storyteller for most of her life. She picked up her first camera around the age of 8 and was drawn to photograph people and children and the cats they had when she was growing up. Her sister Gina was older, and though she lived out of state by that point, Gina was Paula's closest mentor and teacher. She gave Paula her first film SLR, a Minolta SRT 101. In those early days, Paula only knew to keep the needle she could see in the viewfinder in the middle, so the exposure would be correct. When Gina returned for another visit, she showed Paula how to develop film in print black and white in a tiny closet in the basement of their Longmeadow home. Paula was hooked, watching images magically appear under the red beam of light as she moved the developer back and forth over her first print. She pursued photography on the high school newspaper and went on to a 2-year college to learn more about the fine art of photography, coupled with art history and graphic design. She then transferred to a 4-year college, where she was accepted into the Communications Media Photography degree program. I believe that is where she also met her husband, Chris. Her sister Gina had moved to California and was a photojournalist there. And one summer, she invited Paula out to visit and helped her build her portfolio. At that point, Paula says she knew she wanted to be a photojournalist, to tell people's stories through her eyes. She landed an amazing internship in her last year of college at the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, which led to freelance opportunities, then part-time work, and then a full-staff photographer. After 10 years with a growing family, she knew she wanted to continue photography, but not for the paper. She began her portrait business, Paula Swift Photography, so she could continue telling people's stories through her amazing eye. Paula has received many professional awards and accolades in her career. She has won too many photographic awards to list here. Her work has been published in numerous internationally known publications. She has taught classes and is a photographic competition judge herself. She has written the book, literally, on storytelling portrait photography, how to document the lives of children and families. Seriously, it's published by Amherst Media. I am so lucky I have a signed copy. Interestingly enough, one of her teaching agenda items is how to capture unexpected moments. I'm guessing this will be one of hers. As Paula and Chris's family grew to 3 sons, hockey players, along with a dog and cat, and Paula and Chris both running their own businesses, you could rightly assume she was a busy person and with a lot of heart. And in spite of all of that busyness, and because of that heart, Paula has served Pam and shown herself to be beyond deserving of the PPA National Award. Her greatest joy is her family, and we are so fortunate to have them here today to see her accept this award. With that said, I am honored and pleased to present this to Paula. Would you please come up to receive the PPA National Award?
Awesome. I photoshopped the eyeliner, like trailing down, like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Thank you.